Buona domenica cari amici di AC Sport TV, Inside AC Racing Weekend. Questo fine settimana si apre da Roma. Beh, anzitutto avevo un'offerta che il mio amico Guido Schettone non potrà rifiutare, perché Guido, c'è in vendita la Fontana di Trevi. Insomma, tu da grande appassionato di cinema avrai sicuramente colto il fine riferimento al film di Totò. Drammaticamente io non sono riuscito invece a venderla a nessuno, me la riporterò in autodromo dove oggi vivremo le gare del Formula 4 Italia, del Mini Challenge, del campionato italiano sport prototipi e del Formula 2000 Trophy. Una domenica ricca, ricchissima di spettacolo. Io non getto la monetina perché il mio desiderio si è già avverato, perché è quello di passare un'altra bellissima domenica di motori insieme all'interno dell'ACI Racing Weekend, e lancio dunque la linea ai miei colleghi da Vallelunga.
Buona domenica amici di Inside ACI Racing Weekend dall'autodromo di Vallelunga, griglia incandescente perché si stanno posizionando
The first weekend of July here in the eternal city of Rome. Good morning, everybody. Great to have your company for this race to round 4 of the 2022 Italian F.4 Championship. A tremendous sight. As you can see, the cars are on the grid here in glorious sunshine at the famous, the historic Vallelunga circuit. 37 cars on the grid, starting with Camilla, who's down on the grid with a few drivers, including Charlie Wirtz.
Hi, Kimi. 2 pole position, 1 win so far. Are you still hungry?
Yeah, of course, I'm still hungry. I mean, always I want to win, and yeah, we'll try to do our best also today.
Thank you.
Okay, obviously that was not Charlie Wirtz. Charlie is the teammate to Andrea Kimi Antonelli, who we got a brief word with right then. We'll try and hear from Charlie Wirtz in a moment, because yesterday he started on the second row of the grid. He starts on the second row of the grid now, but he stalled off the line yesterday. This is James Wharton, the Australian, who was P3 on the podium yesterday. Now we do have the Austrian, Charlie Wirtz, who's on the grid with Camilla.
Hi, Charlie. Not the best start yesterday, but good recovery. Can you do it again?
Yeah, for sure. I know we have the pace this weekend. We've been working hard with the team, so yeah, just need a good first lap, good battling, and for sure we can fight at the front. For sure, podium, and if all goes well, we can fight for the win.
Charlie Wirtz starts on the second row of the grid. That's where he started yesterday. He stalled off the line, fell back to 19th, but did recover to finish inside the top 10. As you can see, the Prema Power team, including Conrad Larsen, they are in force. This is Conrad on your screen. The Dane car 20, they finished 1, 2, 3 in race 1 yesterday. Kimi taking the win from Rafa Kamada and James Wharton. The Van Amersfoort Racing Team, this is Martini Ascensone. They won the title in 2021 with Ollie Beerman, but they are struggling in 2022. They start on the 6th row of the grid, Martini Ascensone in 34, and Brando Badoer, his teammate, in 33 alongside. But the story thus far of 2022 has been the red and white cars from Vicenza, the Prema Power team, who are leading the championship as well. We'll take a look at the grid in just a moment as the graphic, there it is. Well, there it was. It will come up in just a moment. This is Nikita Bedran, twice on the podium thus far for PHM Racing in 2022. Starts a little bit further back on the 7th row of the grid. We will bring the grid up for you in just a moment. 37 cars on the grid. Just a few moments ago, we had the pleasure of hearing from Mr. Giancarlo Minardi of ACI Sport, telling us for the next round in the Red Bull Ring, or at the Red Bull Ring in Austria in September, we are expecting a field of 45 cars on the grid. This is Marcus Amand, who was 3rd at Misano in race 3. The French Finn for US Racing Team. The German team taking the fight up to Team Prema. His teammate Kasper Stuger, a race winner in 2022 on the second row of the grid, grid 3 in fact. The car's about to set off on their formation lap. This is Meyer Werg, the Ferrari junior driver for Team Iron Dames, also competing in the European Le Mans Series this weekend. This, finally, is the grid. Antonelli on pole position. Rafa Kamada, they finished 1-2 yesterday. They start 1-2 on the grid this morning. Kasper Stuger, Charlie Wirtz, Marcus Amand and Taylor Barnard, P5 for PHM yesterday. James Wharton on the 4th row finished 3rd yesterday. Alongside him is Alex Dunn, Conrad Larsen, Nikhil Bora, Brando Badoer, Martini Ascensone, Bedran Meyer-Werg, Pedro Perino and Emo Fittipaldi from Africa and Southern America respectively. The two Germans, Jonas Reed and VK, Valentin Claus for the Kaif Energy team, Ivan Dominguez, Alfio Spina, Valerio Rinicella, William Carlson. The Swede, first year in the series, Victoria Blockina, Ethan Isha, Castro, Sperandio, Frasinetti for Cars Racing, Adam Fitzgerald, the second Irishman on debut. Frederick Lund, Manuel Quondam Carlo, Kim Huareng, Giorgio Marco Giannis brought out the safety car yesterday. The boys from Brazil, 1 of 4, or 2 of 4 Brazilians in the field. Nelson Neto, Nicolas Monteiro, Jane Rishab, Ismail Ahmed, and Giovanni Maschio, after missing the previous round of the series, out of grid 37. So the heat haze rises. It is a warm morning already here in Vallelunga. There's Giovanni Maschio for AS Motorsport, car 8. out of 37th, the 37th grid position, and out of grid 1. The new championship leader, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, courtesy of his victory yesterday, overtakes Rafa Kamara in the championship, 169 points to the Italian. Rafa Kamara, 165, and Alex Dunn still third in the championship. There's the Irishman just disappearing at the bottom of your screen. Car 22 for US Racing, still third in the series on 120 points. James Wharton, third yesterday, starts on the fourth row of the grid. The Australian, fourth in the series on 94 points. And then comes Marcus Amand on 75, a point ahead of Charlie Burtz. Alex Dunn, not the best run in qualifying. The team changed something on the car. It did not work. A good strong run yesterday, finishing in P4 just behind James Wharton. But yesterday, Andrea Kimi Antonelli was uncatchable, and he took his 6th victory of the series. The Jensen Motorsport team on your screen. They won the title with Marcus Siebert in 2016. We'll see what they can do this morning. Here is Brando Badoer, whose father, Luca Badoer, raced here in the Italian Formula 3 Championship way back in 1991. Jonas Reed in car 41. We wait for Maschio to slot into grid 37 in car 8 for AS Motorsport. The green flag at the back of the grid, the 5 red lights for the second time this weekend in the eternal city of Rome. We race. Dunn rockets off the line as one of the VAR cars stalls in the background. Thankfully, all the field go round. Look at Dunn around the outside of Antonelli, the car bottoming out. Good start from Ivan Dominguez going through as they race down the hill. Dunn has got the lead. What a super start from the Irishman. But he's now on the outside of the racing line. Antonelli retakes position 1, but the Irishman for US Racing splits the red and white cars. Fantastic start as well for one of the BHM cars. It's Taylor Barnard. And on the outside now, Dunn has slotted back. They make contact. Dunn and Antonelli touch. At the far part of the circuit, Antonelli has still just got the race lead. Rafa Kamara back into position 3 in car 88. It is on here this morning. Race 2, round 4, the Italian F.4 Championship here in the eternal city of Rome. A dynamic start. Antonelli has got the race lead under pressure. That's Charlie Burtz up the inside. No problem for the Austrian off the line this morning. As 37 F4 cars race up into the traffic light, the Semaforo hairpin for the first time. Here's Taylor Barnard getting very close to the back of Rafa Kamara. Antonelli is gone. Dunn in second place. He got a super start. Let's hope for the Irishman it was not too good. He's in second place, splits the Prema Power Team drivers. There's Burtz in position 4 as they go up into the Roma curve. US Racing drivers. There's Marcus Amand. Nikhil Porter has also made a good start as they come across the line for the very first time. Antonelli with the lead of 1.5 seconds. Stuka, in fact, it is. Apologies, it's actually Casper who's gone through now into second place. There's Ivan Dominguez on the back of Nikita Bedrin ahead of Pedro Perino and Jonas Reed. So Alex, who was briefly up into second place, has slotted back to P5. Taylor Barnard ahead, James Wharton behind. Rafa is in P3. Kasper Stuka now into second place. And Antonelli leads the way. He's got an enormous lead after having one of the US Racing cars run into the back of him at their ferry corner right there 1 lap ago. Under pressure is Kasper Stuka, runs very wide up the inside, which now becomes the outside. That's Rafael Kamara. He sees his teammate, the new championship leader, disappear. He locks up big time. Does Rafa Kamara, runs off the road. A disaster for Rafael Kamara. Car 88 in the grass and he's dropped outside the top 10. Charlie Burtz on the charge here this morning. In car 7, no mistake from Charlie off the line. He's up into second place. He stalled yesterday, fell back to 19th, but now he's running in P2. There's Taylor Barnard with the US Racing drivers behind him. Rafael Camara, what a disaster as we lose one of the PHM cars in the background running off the circuit into the grass. Antonelli disappears through Curva Roma, the Roman corner to start the third lap of the race. It is on here this morning. Maya Werg, she goes up the inside trying to take Martini Estensone. And just ahead is Jimmy James Wharton. Maya Werg, she pulls out of the slipstream. And the two Ferrari juniors go wheel to wheel. They're almost in the grass. Spectacular here in Rome. James holds the place from Maya with her Iron Lynx teammate Ivan Dominguez right behind. As Conrad Lausen makes the move on Martini Estensone. Nikita Veteran inside the top 10. What a fantastic start for race 2 here this morning. Ivan Dominguez off the road. And that gives hope to the African Pedro Perino, the driver from Maputo in Mozambique in the southeast of Africa for the US racing team. Tries to make the move and he's gone past Ivan Dominguez. Nikita Veteran up the inside of Martini Estensone. This is a dynamite start for the second race of the weekend here in Rome. Charlie Wirtz in second place. Right behind him is Taylor Barnard. Done in P4. Stuka in 5. And Marcus Aman 6 from Lausen. Stensone. And the battle on your screen. Here is Taylor Barnard. Tries the inside. He becomes the outside of Charlie Wirtz. An aggressive start here this morning for car 7. There's Charlie, the second generation racer, as Taylor sends it up the inside. The big don't argue, and he pushes the 7 Prema Power Team driver into the grass. Wirtz is off the road. Taylor's through to second place. On the charge here is the former WSK Champions Cup champion, Rafa's in pit lane. This is why he ran off the road. We wanted to wait before saying it. It looked as though he did have bodywork damage, something under the car. Rafael Camara falls way down the field. He's classified in 35th position. The driver who stalled incidentally on the grid was Brando Badoer, who is still circulating but down in 36th place and second last position. What a start here this morning here in Rome. Antonelli from Barnard, Wirtz, Dan, Stuka, Aman, Lausen, Martinez, Nikita Veteran, and James Wharton in position 10. With his fellow Ferrari junior, that's Maya Werg in 83. She's breathing down his neck, trying to break inside the top 10. Alex Dunn pulls out, half defensive. His teammate Kasper Stuka right behind. He's the top US racing driver for the moment. The German team drivers, US Racing, they run 4, 5, 6 with Alex Dunn, Kasper Stuka and Marcus Amand. Wirtz, after running off the road a few moments ago, recovers for third position. As we see one of the AKM cars running off the gravel at the exit of Curva Roma, Ismail Ahmed from Uzbekistan, representing the National Automobile Club of Uzbekistan, a nation better known for rallying in the world of motorsport. Great to see Ismail Ahmed, half 36, get back on track. He has fallen way down the field. He's in 32nd place, but he is still running here this morning. Antonelli with an enormous lead of 4.8 seconds, 1/4 race distance. Race 2, round 4, the Italian F.4 Championship, presented by WSK Promotion. You can see the gravel, the dust, the sand, which has been thrown up onto the circuit, courtesy of Ahmed running off the road just a few moments ago. As they race down the hill into the Cimini corners, another demoralising fastest lap. I say that because the rest of the field, well, they've now got Antonelli virtually out of sight. He's 4.9 seconds down the road as Valentin Tatuus in the Kaif Energy Gensa Motorsport car. Strong run yesterday for Valentin. He's in position 15. The German driver from Stuttgart in this 37 car field. Car 28 behind the Sicilian Alfio Spina. Now he's on the outside of the Sicilian. We'll try and tap back. Right behind him is the Roman Valerio Rimicella and the Muscovite Victoria Blokina. So now the race settles down. Antonelli with a 5-second lead as we watch Valentin Tatuus on the back of Il Siciliano Alfio Spina. Antonelli from Barnard. Wirtz done in P4, which is where the Irishman finished yesterday. So you see James Wharton now in car 13 on the back of Nikita Veteran, and Rafael Camara has stepped out of the car. 0 points for the Brazilian here this morning. He relinquished his lead in the championship yesterday, and he's going to lose further time, further points. There's his teammate disappearing down the road. On his way, seemingly at this early stage of the race, to another 25 points. That would extend his lead in the series to, give me a moment, 29 points. So a big loss for Rafael Camara. The Ferrari Junior is out of race 2 here this morning. Jules Castro just trying to stay off the racing line. He's the Belgian driver who has pitted just a few moments ago. There's Martinez, locks up, does stints on it, trying to fight off Nikita Bedrin. Does so for the moment. There's James Wharton, the 2 Ferrari juniors behind James Wharton and Maya Werg. Alex Dunn on the inside, Kasper Stuka, his teammate on the outside. The US racing drivers, they're losing time. As Dunn slides wide on the exit, accelerates, wheel spin, now goes defensive, and this allows Charlie Wirtz to skip away ever so slightly, and at the same time, Marcus Zaman, their teammate, joins this battle for position 4. Behind is Conrad Larson. Good drive from Conrad in car 20 for the Prema Power team. The US racing drivers on your screen fighting amongst themselves and losing time to the leaders. Antonelli, Barnard, Wirtz, sends it down the inside. Does Kasper Stuka. Race 3 winner at Imola. Thought better of it, did not want to run into the back of his teammate Alex Dunn, who is still 3rd in the championship, still leads the British F4 series by 51 points. Into Kurva Roma, there's Conrad Larsen behind, the Prema Power team driver from Copenhagen in Denmark, car 20 for the red and white team from Vicenza. The US racing cars immediately ahead. Dunn, Stuka, Ahmad, Conrad in position 7, gets the toe as they race down the hill at this historic circuit north of Rome. Charlie Wirtz disappears down the bottom of your screen. Stuka getting frustrated. And Marcus Ahmad behind as well. 5.2 seconds is now the lead from Antonelli over Taylor Barnard as we pass 1/3 race distance. Done now. There's the graphic confirming at the bottom of your screen that he's starting to hold up not only his 2 teammates, Kasper Stuka and Marcus Amann, but also the Dane Conrad Larsen as well. Taylor Barnard safe in 2nd for the moment. An aggressive move a few laps ago, just barging his way into 2nd place. Charlie Wirtz off the road. Intelligent though from Charlie, got out of the throttle. He was in the grass, recovered. And the Austrian in car 7, still in P3. On your screen is Alex Dunn, car 22. Now finds some rhythm as we go a little bit further back in the pack for this battle between Martini Estensonet, Nikita Bedrin, James Wharton, and Maya Werg. Ivan Dominguez as well. Pedro Perino driving really well this weekend. In fact, the entire season, the African driver has acquitted himself superbly in car 11 for the US racing team. Pedro just a few places outside the top 10. Behind Dominguez, ahead of Alfio Spinner as Conrad gets the toes. They come down the straight. On lap 8, there is Alex Dunn. Now gets some rhythm, pulls away from his teammates. Marcus Amann in car 52. Marcus still 5th in the championship, remember, on 75 points. Wharton will actually be losing valuable points as well. He was 3rd yesterday as Valentin makes a nice move there on Alfio Spinner. The Kaif Energy car makes the move on the Sicilian, and that puts the German up into 14th place in this 37-car field. Just getting back to James Wharton, he finished 3rd yesterday in race 1. He was on the podium previously in Spa as well. Took 3 victories to start 2022 in the United Arab Emirates F4 Championship. He's 4th in the series is James on 94 points, but at the moment in race 2 here this morning, he's only down in 8th. Is faring better though than his teammate Rafael Camara, who just retired a few laps ago. We'll see if Camilla can get a word with our Brazilian driver who stepped out of the 88 car just a few moments ago. He gets 0 points from race 2 here this morning. Into the hairpin, Marcus Amann now exits it through the S's. Alex Dunn throws the 22 car through as they approach the southern part of the circuit. That's Curva Roma, the Roman corner. Antonelli with a demoralising lead at 1/3 race distance, 5.3 seconds clear of Taylor Barnard, with Charlie Wirtz In third place, a 1:34.990. Just quickly trying to check, no other driver has broken into the 134s yet. Everyone else 135, 136, but Kimi Antonelli, the Mercedes Junior, 6 victories so far in 2022. Has broken through the 135 second bracket, and he's now controlling the pace out front from Taylor Barnard. There is the Englishman, car 77 for PHM Racing. The Irishman ahead of the pole, 24 nations represented in this, what is undoubtedly, with all due respect, the most competitive junior car racing series in the world. Let's go down to Camilla, who has found Rafael Camara down in pit lane.
Rafael, what a pity. These are the races. Now it's the time to think about the other race.
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I didn't know what happened. I had a puncture in the rear left. So yeah, when I was in T8, I was braking and I have a lockup, so I had to pit. And then we decided to just keep like fresh tires for the next race. And then yeah, now forget about this race and then think about the other one and try to do some points for the championship. That is important. So yeah, I think now just forget about this race and focus on the next one.
Thank you.
Disappointment from Rafael Camara, yet a mature response. The former championship leader, we know so many of you down in South America have woken up very early this morning to see a DNF for your boy. We say, bom dia a nossos amigos assistindo no Brasil. And unfortunately, Rafa is out. The other Brazilian drivers, Nelson Neto in position 27. And Nicolas Monteiro having his second run in the series as well. After Pedro Claro, who won the first round of the Brazilian F4 Championship, he raced with us at the series opener at Imola as well. Rafael Camara will be back for race 3, which takes place at 2 o'clock local time here this afternoon. As on your screen, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, the Mercedes Junior, continues to pull away, 5.5 seconds clear of the pack. A perfect line. The boy from Bologna, former WSK Euro Series kart racing champion, the ferociously competitive International Kart Racing Series, which does incidentally get underway in 2 weeks' time at South Garda Karting in Lonato in the north of Italy. He is a former winner in that karting championship, the WSK Euro Series. We told you in the past, Taylor Barnard, he's won the WSK Champions Cup a couple of times, as has Alex Dunn with Forza Racing. That was at Adria, a very cold day at Adria Karting Raceway back in 2019. We know virtually all of these drivers from their exploits in WSK International Karting at world racetracks over the past few seasons. Antonelli just controlling the pace now. Barnard, incidentally, has done his fastest third sector of the race. Pulled away from Charlie Verts now, 2 seconds clear of the Austrian as the US racing teammates continue to fight. Goes very deep under brakes does Alex Dunn. P4 yesterday, he runs P4 here this morning. He's P3 in the series. And of course, he does lead the British Formula 4 series by 51 points as well in 2022. Alex also taking wins. In fact, he's taken victories in 3 championships. Winning once in the United Arab Emirates F4 series, of course in the British series, and took victory as well in the opening round of the series at Imola. Car 22 for US Racing. They would dearly love to become just the 4th team to take the Drivers' Championship in the 9-year history of the Italian F4 Championship, presented of course by WSK Promotion since its inception in 2014 when the Canadian Lance Stroll took the inaugural title. But at the moment, it looks like a Prema Power Team whitewash in 2022. A trifecta yesterday, 1, 2, 3 with Antonelli, Rafael Camara and James Wharton. Well, we just heard from Camara, he's out, he gets 0 here this morning, and James Wharton's down in position 8. PHM Racing, they run second with Taylor Barnard. And Charlie Verts in P3 has pulled away from this battle between the 3 US racing drivers, Alex Dunn, Kasper Stuka and Marcus Amand. A 34.838 for Andrea Kimi Antonelli, just quickly scanning the times, and still nobody else has broken under the 135s. And he's doing a 1:34.838. Demoralising for the rest of the field. Andrea Kimi Antonelli raced the last couple of rounds in 2021 at Mugello and at Monza, of course, as a precursor to 2022. Wow, what a warm-up, what a precursor it was as we look further back in the pack. Elias Perandio just shoved out the way. In fact, he's got damage to the left rear. That's bad luck for the Swiss driver, for the Ethiopian-based Mafi racing team. Yes, you did hear that correctly. The team of Danny and Cristiano Mafi, with their roots in Addis Ababa, in deepest, darkest Africa, with their Swiss driver. We told you, we're mentioning about the internationality of the Italian F4 Championship. 37 drivers here this weekend, 24 nations represented, 7 from the home country of Italy. And we heard from Mr. Giancarlo Minardi just prior to the start for the next round of the championship, the 5th round of the series, at the fabulous Red Bull Ring in Austria in September. We are expecting 45 cars on the grid. What a sight that will be at arguably the most picturesque race circuit in the world. That's after the summer break. Round 5 of the championship. As we look at the BWR team, 2 drivers here this weekend, Jane Rishab and Alfio Spinner. The Singaporean is now out. Kasper Stuga still sits behind his teammate, frustrated in P5. And Marcus Aman just ahead. There's Alex Dunn, determined. He's the kid from County Offaly. Not attempt to say that with an Irish accent. Some of you listening are laughing. Yes, I can hear you. Alex certainly isn't, though. He's seeing the Prema Power Team drivers just pull away. No answer this weekend as we see flames out the exhaust of Casper's car 37 just behind. The turbocharged 1.4 litre Arbath engine. Of course, it's an all-new Tatuus T421 car for 2022. Part of the reason which we don't yet have 40 cars on the grid. There's drivers anxious to join the series. Still the flames in spectacular fashion at the back of car 37 is because Tatuus just cannot produce the cars quick enough. They've manufactured more than 130 of these beautiful new generation F4 cars so far. And there's some 50 on back order at the moment. Working day and night, the team from Tatuus and Alto Technica, located just a stone's throw from the Monza circuit where we race the penultimate round of the series on the 9th of October. Antonelli controlling the pace, he's 5 seconds ahead, so throws in the odd fastest lap. But just controlling the pace out front is the Italian, looking to become only the 2nd Italian driver after Gabriele Mini in 2020 to win this series. Kasper Stuka from Poland in car 37, behind him the French Finn Marcus Amand. Charlie Verts, good drive from Charlie in position 3 in car 7. His teammates just behind Conrad Larsen, car 20 and 7. James Wharton in 8. Nikita Medrin and Martinius Stensonet in P10. That's where the Norwegian finished yesterday. He's just ahead of Meyer Werg. Ivan Dominguez, the 2 Iron Lynx drivers. Perino, VK, ahead of Alfio Spinner. William Carlson, the Formula Nordic champion of 2021. It's a really good recovery, incidentally, from William Carlson in car 19. BDM Racing had a punter in qualifying, did not set a time in Q1. An intelligent drive in race 1 yesterday, and this morning the Swede, again I emphasise his 37 car field, William Carlson has worked his way up into position 16, just going by Victoria Blochina and also the Roman Valerio Rinicella. Carlson now on the back of the Sicilian Alfio Spinner for BVM Racing. Verts disappears at the bottom of your screen. The US racing drivers, the trio for the German team of Gerhard Unger and Ralf Schumacher. Dunn, Stuka, Aman, 4, 5 and 6. An opportunity now for Kasper Stuka. We'll try and get a look at Taylor Barnard in 2nd place in a moment, if we can, in car 77. He was one driver who elected to put 2 brand new Pirelli tyres on the left side of his cars. There is Taylor at the bottom of your screen. So he had half a brand new sticker set, in fact. A quick walk up pit lane this morning, very early this morning, confirming that. PHM racing team electing to gamble, and it looks as though a good podium, a second place in fact, is on the way for Taylor Barnard. 2 new Pirellis for Taylor Barnard. Most of the rest of the field using a used set. 8 tyres for the 3 racing, or the 3 races and the 2 qualifying sessions here this weekend. Use them when you wish. Taylor's rolled the dice, or more correctly, the PHM racing team have. And it looks as though it will pay off this morning for most of the rest of the field. The best 4 for race 3 this afternoon at 2 o'clock local time. In glorious sunshine here in the eternal city of Rome. So Kimi Antonelli crosses the line now to start lap 16, race 2, round 4. The 2022 Italian F.4 Championship, presented by WSK Promotion, a 34.82. He's just playing with them out there. Antonelli, 5.4 seconds ahead of Taylor Barnard. Charlie Burt's in P3. Conrad Lawson flat down the hill in P7 ahead of his teammate James Wharton, who has a look down the inside. Turns in through the Cimini corners, and they race back up the hill towards Campagnano corner. This long back straight with a slight rise. Kasper Stuker on the outside of Alex Dunn, who puts the 22 car in the middle of the circuit. Wharton now on the back of Conrad Lawson, tries to find a way past his teammate. He's still 4th in the championship. He's the Australian driver. His countryman Jack Doohan taking his maiden victory in the FIA Formula 2 Championship yesterday at Silverstone. Of course, Jack, congratulations, mate. From the Gold Coast, a former competitor, taking in a few races of the 2018 Italian F4 Series. James Wharton, not a victory here this morning. A podium yesterday. We'll see what he can do this afternoon. Bedran, P9, Stenson still P10 ahead of Werg, Dominguez, Perino, Klus, Carlson now up into 15th. Superb from William the Swede. As Kimi Antonelli, as they come onto the straight, he's already starting to go down the bottom part of the circuit now. 5 seconds ahead of Taylor Barnard. Into the Cimini corners is the Italian in P1. The dying stages of race 2, round 4 here at Vallelunga. The US racing team drivers, now Kasper so close to the back of Alex. Car 22, the Irishman puts it in the middle of the circuit, and his teammates still cannot go by. There's Marcus Amann, P6, Conrad Lawson, James Wharton. So Marcus Amann keeping the duo from the Prima Power team behind. There's Nikita Bedran in the background. Stenson, the top driver from Van Amersfoort Racing. Well, VAR, they dominated the series with Ollie Beerman in 2021. They've been on the podium in FIA F3. It's a huge program for Fritz Van Amersfoort's Dutch team. But in 2022 in F4, something is just not clicking for the team who's won this title twice. Last year with Ollie, and in 2019 with Dennis Hauger. Their top runner here this morning, Martini Stenson, in position 10. Conrad Lawson, an intelligent drive in P7 at the moment as the race settles in. The dying stages here this morning. We have now passed the halfway point of the 2022 Championship. 21 races, 7 rounds. And Kimi Antonelli will take a 29-point lead into race 3 this afternoon unless a catastrophe befalls the Italian. In the dying stages here this morning, Dunn still in P4. Kasper Stuker 5 and Marcus Amann 6. There's Conrad in the background. James can't find a way by him. We expect there to be 2 laps after this. We'll wait confirmation from race control as Alex Dunn stares at the right side mirror. Turns in early. blocks the passage of his teammates, plural, Kasper Stuker and Marcus Amand. Good drive from Charlie Wirtz. And position 3, looking at a podium. That is redemption for the Austrian. After stalling off the line yesterday, no problem for Charlie this morning. His father, Alex, 3-time Le Mans 24-hour winner. In his very busy schedule after winning the Le Mans 24-hour as, not exactly team manager, part of the Toyota team a couple of weeks ago. Great to have Alex here at the circuit. One of 3 former Formula One Grand Prix drivers with their sons racing in the series. This is Ismail Ahmed. We saw him run off the road earlier on. And the front wing, well, let's just say it's not where it's supposed to be. The National Automobile Club of Uzbekistan is representing them. Trying to make it to the checkered flag is Ismail Ahmed in position 30, but with a very damaged car. So we're waiting for word from race control. We expect this to be the penultimate lap, the last lap board next time around. 30 minutes plus 1 lap. Now he's backed it off. Puts in a fastest lap and then cools the Pirelli tyres. A faultless drive from Andrea Kimi-Antonelli. Adam Fitzgerald just in the background now. On debut is the Irish driver from Galway for the RA's GP team. It's been a tough introduction for the Irishman, also racing in the British F4 Series. One of 2 Irish drivers along with Dunn. Adam Fitzgerald, a lap down, bringing it to the checkered flag. So this will be the last lap next time round as we pass the 30-minute mark right now. Antonelli through the S's. 4 kilometres to race in race 2 here this morning. Ismail Ahmed has parked the 36 AKM car at the side of the circuit, and the Uzbek will not take the checkered flag. As Antonelli opens the visor for fresh air. He was struggling big time in the heat, particularly in free practice on Thursday, the long sessions. Desperate for some fresh air, opens the visor as he gets the last lap board down through the Chimini corners. A faultless drive, 6 seconds ahead of Taylor Barnard. The tactic from the PHM racing team, it is about to pay off. The 2 brand new sticker Pirelli tyres for Taylor Barnard, 2nd place. And Charlie Wirtz looking at 3rd here this morning. There's Taylor. Charlie is not a long way back from Taylor. Adam Fitzgerald on your screen in the Galway Hooker car. Sailing to the checkered flag is the Irishman. And Antonelli is about to take his 7th victory of 2022. This is Taylor Barnard. An encouraging result for the kid from Norwich in the Queen's, England, on his way to 2nd place for the German PHM racing team here this morning in the eternal city of Rome. Taylor Barnard, a fine drive in P2. Charlie Wirtz back in 3rd place. Out front, nobody will catch Il Bolognese. Curva Roma, the Roman corner, is the final one to be taken by Andrea Kimi-Antonelli. He accelerates. That checkered flag is about to wave. Andrea Kimi-Antonelli takes his 7th victory of 2022. Extends his lead in the championship by 29 points. Taylor Barnard, a superb 2nd place. And Charlie Wirtz, great to see the Austrian on the podium. Redemption for yesterday in position 3. Dunn home in 4th place from Stuker and Amar, the US racing drivers. 4, 5, 6. Wharton, Larsen, Nikita Bedran, Martin Stenson at 10th in race 1 yesterday, and the Norwegian finishes in exactly the same position this morning. Unstoppable Andrea Kimi-Antonelli, his 7th victory of 2022. A disastrous start for the first round of the series for the Italian at his home circuit of Imola. Just a single point with 10th in race 3. But since then, wow, he has dominated. 3 pole positions as well. Let's not forget that. He dominated qualifying. We'll start on pole position, demoralisingly so for the rest of the 36 drivers in the field. We'll start from P1 for race 3 this afternoon at 2 o'clock local time. Untouchable is the driver of car 12 for the Prema Power team. The team of Angelo Rossin from Vicenza. You have to wonder if Formula One regulations were as they were in the 1980s, if they wouldn't be making an F1 entry. Life is very different these days, though. They've dominated F2, F3, and of course F4 in the last few seasons. Antonelli taking the victory. Taylor Barnard in second place, and Wirtz on the podium in P3. Yes, in years gone by, I'll just finish that point. It wasn't unusual for teams dominating in junior categories to make the step to F1. Not quite possible in the same manner these days. A class act is Prema Power team. And their driver, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, his 7th victory of 2022.
Ciao.
Oh, in the start,
Fucking hell. Do you see how he jumped?
Huh?
He jumped the start massively. Then he touched you in T7. Like I thought it was... Rafa had I think he touched with Luca and he had a punch. Oh yeah. Did you think that?
Victory number 7 of 2022 for Andrea Kimi Antonelli. He's just been told by his team what happened. They had their suspicions regarding Kasper Stuka off the start. Race direction did not. But regardless, Antonelli takes the victory and he's down in pit lane with Camilla now.
Hi, Kimi. Congratulations, 2 wins in a row. Looking at the race, it seems like an easy victory, but it's never easy win out there.
Yeah, as you said, it's never easy. Start was tricky. Start was not the best, and yeah, I had to defend down to T4. Then in the other straight, I had to defend again, and I had a contact with the guy behind. So I made my life a bit harder in that first lap, but yeah, at the end, then I took advantage of the fight behind, and I opened the gap, and then I managed. And yeah, really happy about the win, and yeah, we need to finish the job in race 3.
Things hasn't gone well for Rafael Camara.
Sorry?
Things hasn't gone well for Rafael Camara.
I mean, yeah, it's been unlucky. This can happen to everyone. If you see me in Imola, I've done a 000 in the weekend. So yeah, I mean, happens, and yeah, we'll see.
Thank you.
The highlights of race 2. Watch the second row of the Greek Kasper Stuka. No problem with the getaway as far as race control was concerned. A dynamic start from the pole, who went wheel to wheel, briefly taking the lead from Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Alex Dunn was up there as well, as was Charlie Wirtz. Rafael Camara with a puncher ran off the road, and the Brazilian will ultimately retire. Taylor Barnard with one almighty send down the inside of Charlie Wirtz. Forced the Austrian into the grass. They did make contact, lucky to continue on without damage. Ismail Ahmed in the gravel. And the Uzbek with an eventful race here this morning for AKM Motorsport. Off the road, Shane Rishabh, the Singaporean, would retire. As James Wharton and Conrad Marlson, the 2 Prema Power teammates, had a fabulous fight inside the top 10, but their teammate Andrea Kimi Antonelli, well, quite simply, the rest of the field did not see which way he went. Dominating race 2 here this morning at the Eternal City of Rome, his 7th victory of 2022.
sua quinta vittoria di fila, Andrea Kimi Antonelli.
Charlie Verts in P3. Taylor Barnard, that deserves a serious amount of credit, that drive for second place. And the former WSK Euro Series kart racing champion, he now leads the Italian F4 Championship as well. His 7th victory of 2022, Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Mr. Giancarlo Minardi presents the 3rd place trophy to Charlie, 2nd to Taylor. And Andrea, his 7th P1 of the season. Andrea Kimi Antonelli took victory in race 1 yesterday. That handed the Italian driver the championship lead. He's extended it now with the retirement of his teammate Rafael Camara. 29 points. 29 points, Antonelli leads the championship over his teammate Camara. Alex Dunn still in P3 on 132 points. We've passed the halfway point of the 2022 championship, but we'll see you this afternoon for race 3 at 2 o'clock local time from the Vallelunga circuit. Thanks for your company, the Italian F4 Championship presented by WSK Promotion. See you for race 3 at 2 o'clock this afternoon.